Hi everyone, I'm Nadia, and in today's video I'm making a really fun and unique custom order of a flamingo resin tray with matching resin coasters. After I mix my part A and my part B resin together, I separate it into smaller cups to add in my pigments. I'm going to be using DuPont's Ocean Wave pigment paste, and I mix it in the container first before I add a small amount onto my wooden stick and then into my cup of resin. Then I start by pouring my clear resin into my mold, and I use a silicone makeup brush to help spread it to the edges. I'm starting off with a very thin layer because I'm going to be adding several more layers. I use a torch gun to pop any air bubbles, and I'm moving it very quickly not to burn my resin or my silicone mold. Then I add in my white pigmented resin and I spread it around to give it a sort of clouded effect. As always, I'll have Amazon affiliate links in the description, so if you're interested in purchasing any of these products that you see in this video, be sure to check that out. And that's it for my first layer. I left that to harden and then came back the next day. I couldn't find any pink shells, so I decided to make them myself. So I found these sort of beige colored broken shells at a local craft store, and I poured some into a small cup. I'm going to be using some adhesive spray as well as some mica powder and DuPont's 24 karat color shift pearl. I add some into the cup and then spray the adhesive and mix it all together. And I continue that several times until I'm happy with the shade. Next, I'm taking a jar of seashells that I've collected from the beach, and I'm starting to sort them, separating the smaller ones, which I'll be able to use for the legs. Next, I take these craft decorative rocks and I start sorting through them, trying to find one in the shape of a beak. I put aside several options which I'll be testing later. Next, I'll be adding in this beautiful pink shade of glass that Counterculture DIY sent me. It's so beautiful and they have so many wonderful products, be sure to check them out. And I'm also going to be adding in this purple tinted broken glass pieces as well. Now that I have everything ready, I start by aligning the shells into flamingo legs. Next, I take my pink shells and glass and pour it onto the mold and start shaping it into a flamingo's body. And I found it a lot easier to use a wooden stick to help shape it rather than my fingers. And here I'm testing a few beak options until I'm happy with how it looks. I'm testing out some larger shells to be the wing. And again, I'm using the same adhesive spray and the color shift pearl to turn the shell pink. I started using a small brush, which helped to apply it easier.
And I
I added a small black rock to be the eye. I make some adjustments to place in the shell. Now that my flamingo is set, I start to mix in my part A and part B resin once more. And again, I separate it into smaller cups. This time in one of the cups, I'm mixing in some gold leaf flakes. I start by pouring the clear resin into the mold. I'm pouring it slowly and carefully so that I don't move any of the shells or glass. Then towards the bottom, I start to pour in the gold leaf flakes. I adjust the placement with a wooden stick. I added too much and I wasn't really liking how it was looking, so I decided to remove some of the gold leaf flakes. Then I started to add some of the broken glass pieces. I left this layer to harden and came back the next day. Now I'm getting ready to do my coasters, so I'm mixing my part A and part B resin, and I'm also going to be pouring in another layer on the tray to help cover some of the shells. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do for the coasters. The client had said that they would like the coasters to be pink, white, and gold, and I decided last minute to use the same shells and glass as I did for the flamingo's body. So I made some more of the pink shells and glass and mixed it into some resin to then pour into the coaster molds. I use a wooden stick to help spread out the glass and shell pieces. And once again, I mixed in the Ocean Wave Pigment Paste by Depon. I poured that into the other half of the coaster molds. I added some gold leaf flakes down the center. Now that the coasters are done, I'm ready to carefully add in my handles into the tray. And here I am demolding the next day. I use an X-Acto knife to help remove some of the lifted edges. In the meantime, I thought that the shell on the flamingo kind of looked strange, and it was also sticking up way too much, so I took my mask and I decided to sand it down a bit. Now I'm preparing it for a top coat, so I'm turning it around to add on the liquid latex around the edges, and this will protect the back side while I'm doing the top coat out of the mold, which will cause some of the resin to drip over the tray. I propped everything onto cups, and before I do my top coat, I went in again with the adhesive spray to repaint the shell. And I decided to fill the hole in the shell with the pink tinted glass and shell pieces. Then I start pouring on my top coat for the tray, and I'm using Deppon's DCS resin. You can use my code SUMMERGIRL to save 10%. And I use a silicone makeup brush to help spread the resin to the edges. Then I do my top coat for the coasters, and I'm using Honey Resin by Deppon. And here's a clip of me the next day removing the protective liquid latex. Using a gold edding marker, I added a gold trim. And here's the final product. I had so much fun making this set. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, subscribe to see more videos like this in the future. Follow me on my Instagram, Summer Girl Designs, and my mom's Instagram, Wild Heart Resin Art.